3rd and 3, Nick Sirianni. What the hell? I mean, and I guess they were losing their minds on the Manning cast. It was Peyton, Eli, and Matt Ryan. The last thing you can do in this spot is call a pass. It's 3rd and 3. Coach Dungy on the FNIA text chain last night. You run it twice there. Hell, Scott Van Pelt had a great point. Run the tush push twice. You're going to gain 3 yards if you do it twice. Do it twice. Or just do a regular run the first down and hope to get close enough that you can move the pile again. We saw it. It was back last night. The automatic, you need a yard, you're getting a yard. You're maybe getting 4 yards. All the more reason to maybe do it twice. What are you thinking when you see that play develop? And it starts with Jalen Hurts play actioning to no one. That's an interesting play design. I'm going to do a play action to no one. There's no one behind him, and he puts the ball out, and he rolls right, and he throws. I couldn't believe it as it was happening. I couldn't believe it. Even though it looked like it was going to work, it's like, I can't believe they're doing this.
It's amazing, too, because, again, we used to always talk about this in New England when we go into big games of, is the offensive coordinator up for like a promotion to get a big head coaching job? Because when you run the ball twice in that situation, no one walks away from the game saying, what a great play call. Oh my goodness, that is awesome. Like, to think of that, no, they're just like, they won the game. And I do wonder, hey, Kellen Moore's name has come up multiple times throughout the years. It hasn't been as hot lately. He looked like, unbelievable start down in Brazil last week. Saquon Barkley, 3 touchdowns. You get in his game, it's 3rd and 3, and it's both. It's him and Sirianni because he's hearing the play go in too. He easily could have jumped on the headset and said, hey, run the damn ball. That was a headline for Sunday, right? Run the damn ball. He could have said that. But instead, they draw up this pass play that I do feel like, hey, we called it a roll pass. You walk away Tuesday morning, the talk of the town is, what a gutsy play call by Kellen Moore to run a pass play, 3rd down to pick it up. Oh my goodness, to make that call, like, this guy's a head coach. And I don't know Kellen Moore personally, but I just see that moment of the easy thing to do is because Saquon Barkley and Jalen Hurts have been running the ball well. They had been blocking, they had been running well. Why not just run 2 straight downs? And even like Sirianni said after the game, he was thinking they're not going to drive the length of the field. Okay, cool. Go for it on 4th down again. Run the ball, make them drive the length of the field, but make them drive the length of the field with 40 seconds, with 35 seconds. It's such a difference. But I think there's an ego into some of this sometimes of, I want to hear how great this play call is, or I've been saving this play, or this is my favorite play in this moment, but it's not necessary. Your easy, basic play, the play that you've probably ran back in April over and over again as one of your key run plays, run it right there. You're still giving the ball to your best 2 runners on offense, whether it's a tush push with Hurst or you're handing the ball to Saquon Barkley. Those guys have been getting yards, especially on their own all game. I mean, I just don't get it. As a defense, like you said earlier, you let them off the hook. And that is what you don't want to do in the NFL. Make them earn it. Don't let them off the hook.
Listen, you said that. The one thing that was in my mind, even though it doesn't apply quite the same way, that Monday night from 2006, Dennis Green, the Bears are who we thought they were, and we let them off the hook. I was thinking of that, just as you're saying, and let them off the hook, because it's not like the Falcons come in as the team to beat. Like, the Bears were the team to beat that year, and the Cardinals had them on the ropes and let them off the hook. But the Eagles had the Cardinals demoralized. The Falcons. I got my teams messed up now because I'm just focus on Florio, focus on the 2 teams that we're talking about. But the Falcons, birds, they're all birds, but the Falcons were cooked. They were done. There's no need to do that. There's no need for it. Just run it down their throats because that's what you've been doing. Let's hear from Nick Sirianni after the game on the decision to call for the pass on 3rd and 3 in that moment.
The decision to pass it there, again, like I said, where they were junking it up inside, with it being 4th and 3 to go for it, I thought, with them not having any timeouts, I wanted them to be down a touchdown and see if they could drive the field, and they did. Hats off to them. they made a couple more plays than we did down the stretch. We made some plays, they made more, and that's on all of us. That starts with coaching and goes to the to the players. We're all responsible for the loss. That's how close games are in this league, right? To 22-21. Sometimes it just comes down to a couple plays, but it's never just one play. It's never just that play, because all the plays equal up to to the win or to the loss.
I listened to the entire press conference as it was happening, and it struck me right away because I was curious about how this one was going to be sold as to who made the decision. Because Kellen Moore's the offensive coordinator. Nick Sirianni's the head coach. And there's a lot that's been made of what Sirianni is going to be doing this year. How closely is he going to run the offense? Because he's an offensive guy. And most guys who become head coaches, based upon the work they did as offensive coordinators, don't want to delegate play calling entirely and exclusively to their coordinator. And he said, the decision. The decision. Whose decision was it? And later it came up that he pointed out Kellen Moore's the coordinator. He calls the plays. I'm the head coach. And if you guys want to stir something up about that, go ahead. I don't know what he's trying to do. I mean, how is it not his decision? In that moment, it's my decision because the play calls run through your headset, right? You're the head coach. You hear it. And if your coordinator in his second game working for you as coordinator is you're just kind of, I'm just not my decision, and you hear he's going to pass the ball. Whoa, what the no. And then you rattle off a play call that's a run. So I don't care who made the decision. It's his decision because he's the coach.
Exactly. And those moments, the coordinators, they're thinking of plays. They're thinking of what they're going to do if this happens, if that happens. In New England, we had a guy, Ernie Adams. He was the clock guy. He understood how much time was left, what you could do, what happens if you throw the ball, what happens if you run the ball. Like, that's the person. It's a one-on-one. Only person he was talking to was Bill Belichick. And usually head coaches have that. They have somebody up in the booth who has a chart right in front of them, how much time's left. If we take a knee right now, what happens, how many times, like all those things. And you have a direct communication to the head coach to let them know. So I have to believe at some point, was a second down, whatever it was, hey, coach, if we just run the ball 2 more times, this is how much time is going to be left on the clock. And once you hear that, now it's ultimately your decision. Forget even giving Kellen Moore an opportunity to make a play call that he wants on third down. Hey, Kellen, we're running on second and third down. Hey, we're running. Like, that is what we're doing. And if he didn't do that, then that, to me, that's a deficiency. That's not doing your job to the best of your ability as a head coach, because you often hear head coaches talk about their job is to put the team in the best opportunity to go win football games. And to me, right there, the best opportunity to win that game was running the ball. You ran the ball for 186 yards. Like, that to me is an easy decision. The hard decisions are when you're in a game and there's 1:30 left and you haven't run the ball well all game, and now you're counting on your offensive line or your backs to go get 2 yards, 3 yards. That's when it's tough as a coach, because you're like, we haven't ran the ball all game. How are we going to do it now in the biggest moment? But when you've done it, just go do it again and win the football game.
He mentioned twice during the press conference last night, you heard one of them, that they were junking it up in the middle, that was his reason for not running there. They took advantage of what was on the outside. Help everyone understand when a coach says that. What's the defense doing that's causing him to shy away from taking advantage of the opportunity to run?
Yeah, they're packing the middle of the defense, but they're really bringing as many guys as possible to match numbers or overload where you might want to run the football. The thing about that is that's where you want to show as an offensive coordinator that, hey, we could do different things. Like you can see right here. And also it's the red zone. So the ball's on the 10-yard line. They're not really worried about getting beat deep here. So everybody, the corners are in man-to-man coverage. The safeties are down in the box because they're probably in man-to-man coverage. They're covering their 2 tight ends on the end. So everybody's up there. But, to win football games in the NFL, you got to run the ball when they know you're going to run. Like that's the thing. You don't decide, hey, because they're packing the middle. We're gonna now not do what we need to do. And again, I hate to say this too, but we have to also put some blame on Saquon Barkley. Execute the play. Like, as much as we all don't like this play call, at the end of the day, execute the play. We go out here, we call a play. And again, we talked about that. We keep talking about this with the Eagles of when you get in a huddle and you hear a play, everyone should know the mentality and mindset of the coordinator and head coach. When we talk about the Detroit Lions, whether they win or lose, that whole team says, hey, we love when Coach Campbell goes for it on fourth down. We love the aggression. You want that as a team. So you want your offense, when they hear that pass play, whether we agree on the outside or not, hey, this is what Sirianni, this is what our head coach believes in. We got to go make him right. And in that situation, Saquon Barkley, again, I still think the call would have been criticized that you just run the ball. But he could catch this ball, turn around, dive on the floor, pick up the first down, take a one or two knees, and the game's over. So you have to give some blame to that situation. Just catch the ball. We've called a play. We often talk about it when teams go for it on fourth down. It's not that you went for it on fourth down. What play did you call? Did the play give you a chance to win the game? And right there, Sirianni, Kellen Moore, they gave the Eagles a chance to win the game, throwing the ball to their best player. Again, whether you throw it or not is another topic. But we have to also say, hey, as players, you take the field to go make plays and do your job. Saquon Barkley has to make that catch right there.
Here's Saquon Barkley, to his credit, after the game. He owned it, and he acknowledged it, and he didn't have any problem with the play call. Have a listen.
Dropped the ball. Let my team down today. Shouldn't have put the defense in that position. Made that catch. Game's over. Relax. Went back to my old habits, and just got to go back and get back to work. I can sit here and, complain and be upset about it, or I could be a professional athlete and go back to the drawing board and take the lick and move on and get better from it. I made that play multiple times. I missed that play before too, meaning the situation. That happens part of the game, and I just got to be better. I let my team down. I got to man up to it. I got to own it, which I'm doing, and I can promise those guys in this locker room that I'll be better from it.
We just didn't make the play in that moment, and I trust him in every moment. He's a hell of a player. He gave us a big spark in those moments, and it just wasn't for us tonight.
I credit Saquon Barkley for acknowledging the obvious, and I don't know what else he could have said because he did drop it. We all saw it. I think the finer point is this. He dropped it because he was turning up field before he had the ball in his hands. And we've all seen that time and again. The guy is thinking about what he's going to do with the ball before he has secured the catch. The most important function for Saquon Barkley in that spot, secure the catch. Even if you don't make the first down, secure the catch. Get the ball, because we need to keep the clock running. Get the ball, stay in bounds. Those are the two most important points in that moment. I love Saquon Barkley. And I was fascinated by the way the Giants handled his situation, as we all got to see in the offseason Hard Knocks. But I'm going to play armchair psychologist here. I think Saquon Barkley wanted to score a touchdown on that play. I don't think he was thinking about the first down. I think at some level, there's another chance to stick it to the Giants. I'm not only going to ice the game here, I'm taking it to the end zone. I'm leaving no doubt. I'm scoring the touchdown here. Because something caused him to not do the one thing, the only thing that he needed to do was catch the ball. And you can see, if we can play it, you can see he's turning his head, that fatal flaw that we see all the time. Turning your head before the ball's secured, what happens? Ball squirts off your hands.
Yeah, I'm going to disagree with you. I don't think it has anything to do with, I don't think he's even trying to score a touchdown. I think this is, when we say players are clutch, and we say this player has best moments happen in the biggest moments of the game, it's the ability to do the small fundamental things right in the biggest moment, because this right here is a huge moment. He knows if he catches this pass, he's going to have to turn upfield and probably earn another yard by running through the arm tackle that Justin Simmons is going to have and the corner that's coming up. He knows he has to lower his shoulder and maybe get a half a yard to get over the marker. He knows that's coming. But instead of focusing on just catching the ball, the simple thing, we talk about it all the time. This guy's clutch. That's what clutch is, doing the small thing in that moment. And Saquon Barkley knows that. He knows he blew it because, like you just said, Florio, he's turning before he catches the ball. It's a simple thing. He's done it over and over again. He has some of the best hands in the NFL as a running back. He does it over and over again. Right there, though, when the moment mattered, when it mattered the most, he didn't do the smallest thing. Just keep your eyes on the ball and catch it. That's what I tell my 6-year-old son. We stood outside yesterday, throwing the ball to him like, you're looking at me. Look at the ball. And when you think about that, that is what the best players of all time do. They make that play in that moment. And Saquon Barkley, he's one of those players now. He's a really good player. He's had some really good years in the NFL, amazing seasons. And again, you can't have that. And I think he'll learn from it. And I think as a Giants fan, that would have crushed me, even though he dropped the ball. And I was probably sitting there watching last night as a Giants fan, if I was a fan, and being like, see, he drops the ball. That's blah, blah, blah. But to hear the way he handled it after, you walked away knowing like this guy's gonna make plays for Philadelphia that wins the games throughout this season, and it's really gonna suck again as a Giants fan.
Now, we may have to go back and check the tape. You started down that path saying you disagree with me. I think we agree. I think we're saying the same thing here. And whether he was trying to score a touchdown
I just don't agree with yes, that.
Well, but I think that whole issue, like this was, even if he doesn't score a touchdown, this whole issue is proving him right, proving Giants wrong. And I don't know, something caused it to misfire, and he didn't keep true to the basic fundamental. The most important thing you can do here is catch the ball. And what did the Giants fans say when he dropped it? Ha 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 ha. So it really was just a strange moment where so much crystallized. Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.